जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। विष्णुपाद भय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतश्री श्रीमद दिव्य श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसजेंडर बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। युग धर्म श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Shri Ram. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने. श्रीवर्षभानुवी देवी दयिताय कृपाकरे कृष्ण संबद्ध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः. माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाय श्री रूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्ते. नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धाव सिद्धांत ध्वंसहारिणे. नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्ते विप्रलम्ब सांभोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः. नमो भक्तियोगाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगावराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमिस्थं निर्वेष्ट सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अरण्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामे गौरहर्षि नमः. पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतार भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते. जयतां सुरतो पङ्गोर्ममण्डमते गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधामनमोहनौ. दिव्यचरितारण्यकल्पनुवादः श्रीमद्रत्नाकर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीगोविन्ददेवो पृष्ठादिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि. श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितौ हर्षन् वेणुं स्मरेर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुना. गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we'll all just put our mobile phones on silent mode. Those who have not brought notepads and are going to use their mobile phone, you can put your mobile phone on aeroplane mode. And next time, please follow the instructions. So, over the last 5 days, I had the extreme good fortune, like very great fortune of spending time with Bhurijan Prabhu at Govardhan. So I was there for the last 5 days. This is a desire 17 years in the making. which uh, since last 17 years I was wanting to do that. So finally, this time that Lord's mercy and devotees' mercy it fructified. So yeah, it was wonderful experience to be with him and hear from him. So what I thought is, of course, even if you spend 5 days with me, I cannot reproduce because he speaks with conviction and realization. That is why we should hear from exalted devotees. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. Even a moment's association with a exalted devotee is all beneficial. Sarva siddhi, all whatever is lacking will come. But I thought that at least one or two small things I can share with you, and maybe over the next few months I can keep sharing some things. It all depends on how much I am practicing. So you please pray for me. We will start now with yeah. You open your notepads and pen, and for the next 5 minutes, you first hear before you start writing what you have to do. So for that, you have to look at me, not at the notepad. Yeah, thank you. So what we will do is we will do something called as directive free writing, in which you just have to write whatever is coming to your mind, but about what I'm saying. Many things are in our mind right now. So many things could be there in our mind. But regarding what I'm saying, whatever is coming, you have to write. And there are only two rules. One is you have to write about this topic, and the second is the pen should not stop. Pen should not stop. Yes, Mataji. Mataji. The pen should not stop. Okay. What are we going to do? For 5 minutes without the pen stopping about that topic only. Okay. And what you have to write on is this the current state of our chanting. And before you start, please don't peep into each other's notebooks. If you want, you can space out a bit. आप लोग थोड़ा ये साइड सटक जाओ, वैसे भी कम है, थोड़ा ये साइड जाओ. And if you want one this row behind the camera, you can come this row. तो थोड़ा आप लोग space कर देंगे, so that you can write. Otherwise, you'll be pressured. My chanting is very good. You can write actually what it is. Nobody will look into your book. And please don't be philosophical. Please be genuine. No one is going to ask you for what you have written, and nobody is going to see in your book. If you are too scared, then you write like this. जैसे वो scholar लोग exam में कैसे करते हैं. I tried a lot to copy in exams, but there was this one person in front of me who used to always write like this. So if you want, you can write like that, but you write honestly. Okay? Please start. The current state of our chanting, and just write. You will realize it's easier to write on a notebook and a notepad rather than typing on your mobile phones. The honest current state of our chanting, my chanting. And you don't have to write, I want it to be like this, it should be like that. How is it now for me, the individual? And no one is going to read this. And keep writing. Very simple task. Current state of my individual chanting. Don't write glories of chanting. The mothers with the small babies are also writing. So others, please write properly. The current state of my personal chanting. Don't stop writing. Don't think. Just write. 2 more minutes. Okay, 30 seconds. Right. You don't have to stop. Okay, and stop writing now. Just complete that sentence. Okay. So now it's on paper. Close the book, otherwise the people next to you will tend to peep. इसका कैसा है? So now, how many of us are satisfied with our current state of chanting? Nobody. How many of us have hope that our chanting can improve? Everybody. How many of us feel it's hopeless? 4 people. You're wrong. It's not hopeless. 5, Rahul. It's not at all hopeless. And the proof is that there are so many wonderful devotees around us in this. I just came back today afternoon from Govardhan. I have Govardhan Giriraj dust for everyone who got a book. Everyone who has a notepad. Those who are typing on mobile will not get. Only if you followed the instructions. So I met one devotee who joined in 1980. He's from New Zealand, and when he was around 16, 17 years old, he decided I'm going to travel the world in search of self-realization. So New Zealand से सबसे पास Australia है. So he went to Australia and went around Australia, reached till a city called Perth, and met the devotees, joined the temple, and he's still serving in that temple. Now he's in charge of that temple. So now when you hear something like this, what comes to your mind? What came to my mind is I was immediately inquisitive. What would you want to be inquisitive about when you hear something like this? My question was, please tell me your realizations about longevity. The fact that you have not just been in Krishna consciousness of 45 years, but you have been in the same temple for 45 years. Our mind always wants one thing: change. Always wants change. अभी आपको ये अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि थोड़ा attentive है. After 10 minutes, mind will go somewhere else. Or maybe it's already gone somewhere else. I wonder what's for prasad. I wonder if I, will get traffic when I go back. I wonder if, so many things. So many things. One good thing was, in Govardhan, where I was staying, there was no network. And for 5 days, there was no data network and there was very patchy, even call network. So I assigned all my services to Sri Sudama Prabhu on the first day only. When I went with whole laptop, this whole bag came with this only. But I just told him, Prabhu, यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं चल रहा है. I gave him my passwords. 5 days, 5 days, you take care. And I was like cut off. And this afternoon at Delhi airport, they have the news playing. The 90 seconds में 90 वो बताते हैं ना 1 minute में 90 minutes whatever it was 90 seconds. So then it came Bihar news election, Bihar election news, this that. So mind will start racing here, there, everywhere. So therefore, I was very inquisitive. What is the secret of your longevity in this one service for such a long time? So yeah, it was a holy name retreat, and he has been attending this holy name retreat since 25 years. Uh, he's like Burijan Prabhu's main. He's a brahmachari, Australian body brahmachari for all these years, and he was leading most of the kirtans. Amazing kirtans. मैंने एक रिकॉर्ड किया आपको भेजा भी पर वो नेटवर्क नहीं था आपके लिए लेके आया हूँ एक. So in this course of conversation, I asked him, where are your half an hour hearing from while eating prasad? The benefit association of devotees, we should, while honoring prasad, we should talk to each other about things that are relevant to Krishna consciousness, which I'm sure all of you do because there's so much noise that happens when you all take prasad. I'm sure this is what you all are talking about because if it is, then it's beneficial. So for me, that half an hour of eating prasad was just I waste. In the end, I apologized to him. Sorry, आपका इतना time ले लिया जो 15 मिनट में आप खाते थे आधा घंटा लगा. But so I asked him at the end. Lectures हैं, कीर्तन्स हैं, नहीं कुछ नहीं है. No, I don't record. Nobody is recording. And it was like as a matter of fact. नहीं है, ठीक है. It's like you want sweet today? No, I don't want sweet. That's it. No big deal. So he told me many things about this. One of them was this attentive chanting. Uh, and in the course of this whole time with Durijan Prabhu, I filled 2 notebooks. I'll show you. After school, first time I wrote so much. After college, they gave this notebook. ये 2 दिन में खत्म हो गया. And then thankfully I had taken, even though they didn't say, I had taken a notepad. Some of us were told and this we still didn't bring. And even this got full. So there are 3-4 themes that came across in that during everything. So I'll just share 1 or 2 of them with you today. First is, please read this. All of you individually read. Anything new we have read? We all know this. We all know Krishna is a person. We all know that Krishna is fully present in his holy names. And we have heard this also. This last shloka line is actually a translation of a verse by Rupa Goswami, where he says that the Lord is dancing on the tongue of the chanter. But I don't know about you, but I still don't have faith in these things. That conviction is not there. The faith which is there is very, very theoretical. In theory, yes, Krishna is a person, of course. इतने सालों से सुनते आ रहे गॉड इज अ पर्सन, गॉड इज अ पर्सन, प्रभुपाद के इतने लेक्चर सुने हैं, वी हैव रेड सो मच प्रभुपाद. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव हर्ड एनी लेक्चर ऑफ प्रभुपाद in that's not the question. How many of you have heard any lecture of Prabhupada? Wow, achievement after so many years I have heard one. How many of you have heard a lecture of Prabhupada in which Srila Prabhupada is getting angry at this point, proving that Krishna is a person, he is not impersonal? How many of you have heard a lecture in which Prabhupada has said? Any lecture? There are so many lectures. If you regularly hear Prabhupada's lectures, you will definitely come across this. Srila Prabhupada, we sometimes devotees ask, Prabhupada इतना heavy क्यों है towards Mayavadis and scientists? These two things Prabhupada is heavy about, Mayavadis and scientists. Mayavadis because they deny the personal existence of God, and scientists because they do the same thing. They deny the existence altogether. Mayavadis deny the personal existence. Scientists altogether. Atheistic. Modern science is atheistic. And Srila Prabhupada gets angry. He gets angry at them. Not because he can't control his temper, but how can you deny the existence of my Supreme Lord? That's Prabhupada's mood. Krishna is a person. He's a person like you and me. Like any person who is physically present, maybe your parents, maybe your spouse, maybe your children, that you love the most. Like that, Krishna is also there. What is the only difference? Okay. What's a deeper difference? Just like we have some person, one or two people that we love the most in this life. Maybe our parents, our spouse, our children, some relative. Just like that, there is Krishna. But there's one difference. That relationship that we have with Krishna is there life after life. And versus these relations are only there for this one life. This one life, she is my mother, he is my father, he is my husband, she is my wife, these are my kids, this is my whoever else I love, my country for some people. But that relationship with Krishna, that same loving relationship with Krishna, is there life after life. Life after life. But unfortunately, it's a broken relationship. Sometimes we have, our relationships with our spouse or with our parents sometimes turn sour. Maybe your kids' relationship with you at some phase in their life when they grow up turns sour sometimes. It's not always very nice. Maybe it can patch up again and become very strong. But there are phases. We all have a relationship with Krishna, but currently our relationship with Krishna is broken. And from whose side is it broken? From our side. The relationship with Krishna is there, but it's broken from our side. And chanting Hare Krishna is a what it is doing is it is just re-establishing that relationship with Krishna. And therefore, why does that happen? Because Krishna is fully present in his holy names. He's fully present in the holy names. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. That this all of Krishna's potencies are there in the holy name. In fact, the acharyas say that Krishna is more present in the holy name than when he is around. Because holy name is always accessible. And Mahaprabhu said there are no rules and regulations to chanting the holy names. So Krishna is fully present in the holy names. We have to develop faith in this. And even if that faith is theoretical, every day we need to remind ourselves of this. That Krishna is a person and he is fully present in his holy names. These two things we should remind ourselves regularly because We are still not realized about it. Now, what happens when we think about this? That Krishna is a person and he is fully present in the holy names. What happens to us when these thoughts come in our mind? Raise your hand if you like to answer. Yes, Mahavati Prabhu. Wonderful. So we naturally become attentive because we realize that we are in the presence of Krishna. Mahavati Prabhu said, we are in the presence. We realize that we are in the presence of the Lord. So automatically we become attentive. Very good. What else? Who else raised your hand? Some other answer? Yes, Mataji. So that means that can we say that our faith that in Krishna's pastimes increases and thereby that Krishna did perform these pastimes? I'll tell you one experience I had uh, at Govardhan. So you know what I made you do? Bhurijan Prabhu used to make us do for 3 hours every day, and then we used to share at the end, and it was like open heart surgery to make everyone sit here and there, and then tell us things to write about. And when you have to introspect about yourself, that's why we tend to avoid it because it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant. So yeah, what was I say? Yeah. So we used to sit at the foot of Giriraj, just close to where the session, just 2 minute walk, and then just Giriraj is there. And so one day, just in between the break, I was sitting there and chanting, and then I saw one peacock on Govardhan, and then I saw one peahen on Govardhan, and then I saw on the trees. Bhurijan Prabhu used to say, just close your eyes and let us listen to what Giriraj has to offer. And there were parrots, and parrots are singing melodious. Then I saw a cow. All this in when I opened my eyes, just in that time only, like in 1 minute, all this together. One cow came, then one dog came, then from one rock a cat jumped, and the dog went to chase it. And then butterflies were flying, and there were like 50 different kinds of insects over there. And then the monkeys of Vrindavan were there. And then there were all these people who were performing parikrama. Some were Brajvasis, some were chatting and doing, some were doing Dandvat Parikrama, some were in devotional attire, some were in non devotional attire, and there were all these devotees with Bhurijan Prabhu who were there. Everyone was there at that time at Govardhan. And so, just to your point, what came into my mind was that when Krishna went to Nand Baba and he said that stop Indra Yagya, one of the reasons Krishna gave is that Giriraj is giving us everything and he's maintaining everyone. And then Krishna describes how Giriraj is maintaining the cows, the other animals, the birds, the insects, everything, and all people. And so this image just flashed in my mind. I'm seeing this and that image. Yeah, see, it's true even 5,000 years later. So definitely, when we think like this, uh, it's not the right thing to say, but Krishna comes alive when we keep reminding ourselves that Krishna is a person and is fully present in the holy names. Anything else? हाँ माताजी बोलिए. So when you're chanting, you feel fortunate that I'm chanting Krishna's names, who's present in the holy names, and he's a person. Very nice. Thank you. Yes, Mata Rupati Mataji. We'll come to that. First two, anything about the first two? So when we remind ourselves Krishna is a person, we feel Krishna's presence. Anything else not said till now? Yes, Jigisha Mataji. Yeah. So yeah. So it's like you are having a conversation with somebody and you are completely inattentive in that conversation. So the other person doesn't feel very happy about it. The only difference is that Krishna is he is so compassionate and so merciful that even after that, when we do chant attentively or when we turn to Krishna and pray, Krishna immediately accepts it. Unlike if you do that to me, you'll have to take some effort to patch it up with me. Whereas with Krishna, the next second we are attentive to this, that next second Krishna is accepting our chanting. Yes, Mataji, wanted to say. Hmm. Very nice. Wonderful. Thank you. So this brings us to one point that okay, we can all answer this in our mind. How much of our chanting are we conscious of these 2 points? In your mind, you answer this question. How much of our chanting, say today I chanted for today was Ekadashi, so we all chanted more. How many of those rounds are regularly? How much are we conscious that Krishna is a person and is fully present in the holy name? Fully present. You know? Now that kind of chanting, which we all do, which I most often do, that kind of chanting in which we are not thinking, we are oblivious of the fact that Krishna is a person, he's present there. What kind of chanting is that? Sorry? Inattentive, mechanical, sorry? Offensive, yes. Why is it offensive? Being inattentive is one. Other thing. We all know the 10 offenses to the holy names. How many of us know that there are 10 offenses to the holy names? There are 10 offenses to the holy names, and three or four of them are committed by this. So, mechanical chanting, inattentive chanting. What else came up? Offensive chanting. It's just sorry. हाँ it's just करने के लिए same answer formality just tick mark करने के लिए कर रहे हैं. प्रभु जी, what did you say? Chanchal Prabhu? I'm ignoring Krishna. Correct. So I'm ignorant of Krishna. Right. So it is dry chanting. When we go from here, we cross Jutara Road and we go straight towards SNDT. On the right, there is one shop. Shop का नाम है Super Dry. It's some brand. You know this brand? Super Dry. So our chanting is like that most of the times. It's super dry. You know, there's this brand, Super Dry. You may be having also clothes. It is chanting in which we forget that Krishna is a person and chant. You know, there are all these mantras in the Bhagavatam. When Suta Goswami comes and the sages approach him, and the sages are covered with ash. Second chapter of the first canto. दे आर सेइंग हम इतना स्वाहा 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 करके क्या रिजल्ट मिला, हमें खाली ऐश मिला है बस. Because all those mantras, they are all these technical mantras. Whereas holy name, Prabhupada says, is like a rasgulla or gulab jamun. Those are the only sweets which are fully sweet. You know, you have that balushai. It has some layer of not so sweet, but this is like fully sweet. Holy name is like that. Now we come to this third point. Krishna is dancing on the tongue of the chanter. Yes, Mataji, what were you saying about this? हाँ हाँ हाँ. So when the second point, Krishna is fully present in the holy names, and this third point, Krishna is dancing on my tongue, it implies one thing. Who can say? What does it imply? Actually, Mataji already said it. It implies that Krishna is there with us. Krishna is there with us. As soon as I say Hare Krishna, Krishna is there. We may not be conscious of it. We don't have to really be able to perceive it, but we should be conscious of it. I may not be able to perceive. That may be little Sahajiya Bhav right now. Right now, if any of us say that, yes, yes, I can perceive of Krishna, maybe sometimes, but not always, right? We don't have to be artificial, but we should at least be conscious. Yes, it is there. It's like, when our spiritual master is in front of us, are we inattentive? Are we lazy? Are we absent minded? He's standing in front of us. Of course not. So the same thing is there. Krishna is dancing on the tongue of the chanter. That means Krishna is present there. So if you like, you can write this or not, whatever. But these thoughts we should remind ourselves regularly, multiple times a day, not just while chanting. Krishna is a person and he's fully present. He's fully present. Now, when we understand this, what does it imply? What does it imply about us in relation to Krishna? Yes, Vikas Prabhu. So Krishna is very merciful. The fact that he has made himself available in the holy name, even the deity, you have to come to a temple, or you have to go on YouTube, or you have to open a picture, or you have to go in your house in the altar where there may be a picture or your own deity. But holy name is accessible anywhere. This is Krishna's mercy. Anything else? Yes, Aman. No, 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 no. What comes to your mind when you think about this? Not what you heard. What comes in terms of our relationship with Krishna? Okay, he forgives us. Yes, Ashwini Prabhu. Krishna is always present. Yes, Chanchal Prabhu. I'll be attentive. What does it say about my relationship with Krishna? Okay, I can have Krishna's presence. Yes, Prabhu, Mahamani Prabhu. So that means I can access Krishna, right? I Through chanting I can access Krishna. Wonderful. So we all have a relationship with Krishna, and these are the ways we have a relationship with Krishna. He's merciful, he's attentive, he's accessible through chanting. Point is, we all have a relationship with Krishna. Unfortunately, how is it right now? Broken. It's broken from our side. It is fully intact from Krishna's side. It's like the parents of the previous generation, our parents. I don't know, we as parents, I don't know how much we will live up to this, but our parents, no matter how inattentive we are, they are always loving. And that is also material. And that is also having a shelf life. And this relationship with Krishna from Krishna's side is present all the time. And the moment we chant even one mantra attentively or offer a sincere prayer, we are acting on that relationship. Now, the one of the realizations that Bhurijan Prabhu shared was that all we need. How many of you have read Krishna book? How many of you have read the preface of the Krishna book written by George Harrison? How does he end that with before he signs his name? All you need is Krishna. All you need is love, and bracket he writes Krishna. All you need is Krishna. So Bhurijan Prabhu, over these last 5-6 days, was sharing this one thing again and again and again. That what we are actually seeking, what we are actually seeking is this relationship with Krishna, this loving relationship with Krishna. But because of our false ego, because of our envy towards Krishna, this relationship is broken. Now, by Prabhupada's mercy, by the devotees' mercy, we've come into Krishna consciousness. But even now, because of our inattentive chanting, this relationship is from our side still broken. It's not getting strong. So when we chant, this is one thing we can think about, that I have a relationship with Krishna, and when I'm chanting attentively, that relationship from my side is getting mended. I'm mending that relationship with Krishna through attentive chanting, through attentive prayers. We all have a relationship with Krishna. No matter how bad we are, no matter how bad we've been, no matter how inattentive to our spiritual practices we are even now, अपि चेत्सु दुराचारो भजते माम अनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यक व्यवसितो हि स क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शांति गच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि नामे भक्ता प्रणश्यति. If Ajamil, who wasn't even calling out to Krishna, got Krishna's mercy, how much more a devotee who is actually calling out Krishna when he's chanting will get? If Ajamil, who did all sorts of rubbish in his life, and at the end took one name and got mercy of the Lord, how much more mercy will devotees who've left all those bad habits, are following regulative principles and chanting Hare Krishna, how much more they'll get? If Ajamil, who took the name of his son and got the mercy of the Lord, if a devotee who is conscious that Krishna is fully present as a person in his holy name and chants like that, how much more mercy this devotee will get? So it's all there. It's just a matter of our attention. We are inattentive in our relationship with Krishna, and we have to become attentive to it. And the best way to mend that relationship is by chanting the holy names in this kind of mood. All of this is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in where? Shikshastakam. Verse 1. Repeat after me. चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनम् श्रेयाकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दां बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् Mahaprabhu is saying that Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Anyone here who is reading this verse for the first time today? New people. All of us have read this before several times, multiple times. Mahaprabhu is saying that Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Marjan. The word marjan is used when there is some thorough cleaning. Thorough is that that dirt is there in our consciousness. It has covered the mirror of our consciousness to an extent that we can't even see who we are. Srila Prabhupada writes about this that the dust of the mirror is so much that we can't even see who we are. And that's why all of us are identifying ourselves with our mind and our body. We are all identifying with mind and body because there's so much layers and layers and layers and layers of dirt. And it is that dirt only which still gives us hope in the material world towards material things. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says that a person, I will come to know that this person has made tangible advancement in spiritual life when that person is convinced that there is no happiness in this material world. What did he say? When a person is convinced that there is no happiness in this material world, what happens? There is tangible progress. Tangible progress. Again, you don't have to answer this, but answer it to yourselves. How many of us are convinced? I am not. How many of us are convinced that there is no happiness in this material world? We may be sometimes, some bad days, some kicks, some bad, someone betrays us, or some loss happens, or maybe you, whatever it could be, depending on our consciousness. But otherwise, we forget and we become convinced. कुछ तो है यार, ऐसा थोड़ी, कुछ तो है. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur says, जब भी convince है कुछ नहीं है, then there is tangible progress that is happening. Because why does he say that? You think, why is he saying that when a person thinks like this, then that's tangible progress? It implies something. What does it imply? Think, and then raise your hands if you have an answer. Raise your hands if you have an answer. Everyone thought? Yeah. Oh, Rashmi Mataji, yes. Okay. Attachment is reducing. Yes, Chanchal Prabhu? Relation to God is increased. Okay. Yes, Mataji? Okay, thank you. So all three are wonderful answers. Rashi Madhuri said material attachments are reducing. Chanchal Prabhu said that we sorry, what did he say? Faith in Krishna, and Mataji said relationship with Krishna. Yes. So basically, all these three answers imply one thing, that when we are fully convinced that there is no scope of happiness in the material world, we will turn to Krishna. There's no other option but to turn to Krishna. But it is not in the negative sense that a person will turn to Krishna, but that person is convinced that कोई कुछ substance का नहीं है यहाँ पे to give pleasure. For duty, there are many things to do, and we should do those duties. This does not mean artificial vairagya, but it means that substance, that happiness, only is in relationship with Krishna. Therefore, he says the tangible progress happens at this time. So we all have a relationship with Krishna, and right now, because of this Cheta Darpanam, our dirt which is there, which is Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, the great blazing forest fire of material existence. We are all in that. But he says, Shreya Kairava Chandrika, this the cooling rays of the moon of the holy name is acting on us. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Vidya Vadu Jivanam actually means uh, uh, the life of the wife of knowledge. The explanation is given that the wife always follows the husband. So Vidya, all sorts of knowledge will follow a person who is chanting the holy names automatically. Anandam, Buddhivardhanam, there is bliss. Purnamrita Swadanam, we are tasting that nectar. There is a reason why in every temple in the morning these verses are chanted just before japa. Most of us, it just becomes like parrot like repeating. It's just like rote. It's But the reason why we chant all this before starting japa is we should be convinced that all this garbage which is there right now when I chant and after 10 seconds when my mind goes here and there, it is because of this. It is because of this dirt in my consciousness. But Mahaprabhu is in this verse giving the hope also. The cooling rays of the holy name will cleanse. Marjanam will happen, will cleanse. So when we chant, we can think like this. That, for like Gurujan Prabhu always says, when the mind goes here and there, what do? Bring it back. Sometimes, after a while, it gets frustrating. क्या हो रहा है? 10 seconds बाद, 15 seconds बाद, 5 seconds बाद, same mantra में ही mind यहाँ वहाँ चले जाता है. For me at least. So at that time, at least this hope is there. Yeah, this is happening because of this dirt in my consciousness. But this thing which I'm doing is only the solution. You can all close your eyes. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Now you picture, close your eyes. Eyes are open. Mataji, close your eyes. कुछ नहीं होगा. Don't worry. Your belongings are here. My eyes are open. Now you picture in your mind that this thing, that my consciousness, the mirror of my conscience, covered with these layers of dust. Now we all know what all that dust is. For each of us, it's something else. All my rubbish which I carry that is there, it's covering me. And now picture that I'm chanting, and this chanting is actually one by one removing these layers. It's like a dirty bodied person standing on a waterfall. And that whole thing in 10 seconds, that dirt is going away from him. And when I'm chanting Hare Krishna, that same thing is happening to my consciousness. Okay? You can open your eyes. This is very much relatable. when we try to understand this, that my all this these problems are there, these anarthas are there, but this chanting of the holy names is Mahaprabhu is saying it, the Supreme Lord, the one who is more merciful than Krishna, he's saying it. Has to be true. What kind of feelings come when we understand that Krishna is so merciful in his holy name that just by chanting these, the dirt of my consciousness is he's cleansing. What kind of what kind of and what kind of emotions does that arise in our mind? Does loving? We feel humble. Why do we feel humble? Very good. Very good. So these emotions it is meant to arouse. अनर्थास इतना है मेरे अंदर. If I look at a mirror which is fully covered with dust, you can't see anything in that, and that's my consciousness. Uh, to gain humility, sometimes we have to be humiliated, and not by others, but at least in our own introspection. That's why I said, these sessions of writing was like open heart surgery. But if we remind ourselves every day, भाई अंदर ये सब है कचरा, we become humbled. Become humbled. What else? What else does it arouse in our mind? Krishna is merciful. Okay. There's hope. Very good. There's hope. This is one very, very, very powerful emotion. Hope. It brings humility, but at the same time, it gives hope. Both these things are very, very conducive for a person's progress in spiritual life. When there's faith in the words of the Shastra, there is automatically hope. I may be struggling, but I'm on the right path. I may be struggling very badly, but I'm on the right path. Jagatarani Mataji, she was sharing that uh, 30, 40 years back, when I used to read Prabhupada's books, I used to see all this, I used to read, and I used to feel that, how is this going to happen? Prabhupada says a person can develop love for God in this lifetime. And a person becomes so attached that they just want to perform devotional service and nothing else. And she said, now I can see all this coming true in my life. So the thing is, don't get off the bus. I mean, by the mercy of the Lord and the devotees, somehow, without our will, completely unwillingly, at least for me, we got dragged into that bus. Like if you're standing on Andheri bus stand and you're in the wrong line, and just when you're about to go, you realize you have no option. You have to get in, and then आगे से उतर जाएंगे, but nobody will allow you to get out because from all directions, everyone is trying to get in. Somehow we are there. Now, all we have to do is take hope from the words of the scriptures and just continue. Just continue, but not in the way we usually do, that super dry chanting, but Krishna is a person, fully present in his holy names, dancing. I'm sorry, I have just made 3 slides because uh, we had some discussions and it was 6:30, and then I just made these 3, 4 simple slides. But he's fully present in his holy names, and I have a relationship with Krishna. And this holy name does this. It has the ability to, if it avoided Ajamil all those things, I'm not that bad. At least in this life, I have not been that bad. पता नहीं पहले का क्या है, but वो भी धुलेगा. And then in the next verse, Mahaprabhu says, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pitani Amita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Janinanuraga. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for him. Many positive things mentioned here. That all benedictions just by chanting. Now, really, if we introspect, do we believe this fully that everything is available just by chanting Hare Krishna? Do we really? Because if we really believe it, whatever we wrote, the state of our chanting, it would be different. So, every day we should remind ourselves of this that whatever I want right now in life, behind that is that satisfaction which I'm wanting. That is only possible here and is fully possible here. And Mahaprabhu says that Krishna has invested all his energy, all his energy. Srila Prabhupada says Krishna has never been more approachable than in his holy name. If you come to our temple, like if you go right now, it's 8 o'clock. If you go to the temple, will we get darshan? No. The altar is closed. Why is it closed? It's bhoga offering. It's bhoga offering. If you go to the temple at 9:01 p.m., will we get darshan? No. It's closed. From 9 p.m. till 4:30 a.m., we will not get darshan. 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., 4:15 p.m., we will not get darshan. So the deity is also not always accessible. But Krishna is always accessible. There's this pastime of Mahaprabhu. When he was going to the toilet, he was holding his tongue and he went inside. So this boy, his name was Gopal. He asked him, Mahaprabhu, why are you small boy? Small boy can say things. Why are you holding your tongue? Going to a dirty place. Holy name is Krishna. Krishna is present. I don't want to take Krishna's name in that place. No. But there are no rules and regulations to chanting. Chanting can be done anywhere. The name is so pure, it will purify an impure place also. There is no such thing like this. So Mahaprabhu said, "Hey, thank you for telling me. You are like my guru." And he changed his name to Gopal Guru. And then later on, he became Gopal Guru Goswami. That boy grew up and became a sannyasi. So even in the bathroom, we can chant. In fact, His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj was recommending that we should all sing every day, not mundane songs, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he said, if like me, most of you are not getting opportunity to lead kirtan, like our Shanti Valan Prabhu gets, we don't get. He said, and if nobody is interested to hear your voice also, because your voice may not be that good, at least chant in the bathroom while you're taking bath. And then he said, actually, real bath, real cleansing of the body happens when mantras are chanted. Gange cha, Yamune cha, Saraswati, Godavari, Kaveri, Sindhu. He said, वो सब कुछ ठीक है, but chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's easily accessible everywhere. And Krishna has invested all his energies. And there are no rules and regulations to chanting. Of course, those offenses we have to avoid. But otherwise, chant anytime. And then Mahaprabhu says in the third line, Mama and Api. Api means although, but. Although all this is there, but. What's the last line? Durdaivam. Na jani na anuraga. There's no anurag. There's no taste. There's no attraction. I have no attraction for them. Again, even this brings that same feeling of humility. This actually brings a feeling of helplessness. And these, if we are aware of these emotions will help us chant better. Have we all, at some point of time in our life, been utterly helpless and approached somebody for help? Everyone? Everyone has been in that situation completely. I'm not talking about with Krishna, with somebody else. Even, you know, maybe as a child or even later on in life, sometimes we're completely helpless and we approach somebody. At that time, what are our feelings towards that person? Dependence. Fully dependent on that person. Only you can help me in the situation right now. The situation is so bad, only you can help me. I have put myself into such trouble, only you can get me out. At that time, there is full dependence on that person. All this is there. Full energy of Krishna. You imagine, you think of Krishna lifting Govardhan, and how does he, Prabhupada, when he told Jadurani Mataji to draw, she drew with Krishna holding both hands with muscles and with that Atlas, na? She drew like that because she had that image in her mind. Atlas. You've seen Atlas holding the globe? I said. Or when we see this weightlifting competitions, and then Prabhupada laughed. No, 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 no. Or Krishna is the one who put the weight in that. जानबूझ के to emphasize that मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं है, लेफ्ट हैंड के लिटिल फिंगर से उठा के राइट हैंड से इज प्लेइंग फ्लूट. So to lift Govardhan also took no energy of Krishna. Now all his energy he is putting in the holy name. You imagine what energy the holy name has. What else is mentioned here? All benedictions are there. There are no rules and regulations. Out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by our holy names. And in spite of all this, I don't have attraction. In spite of all this, I don't have attraction. What does it say about myself? What does it say about myself? Want to do one more open heart surgery? Write about this. What does it say about myself? And please be honest. Don't be artificially humble. No one is going to read that and tell you, wow, what realize it. Just write what. Krishna is fully present in his holy names. He's invested all his energies in them. He's a person. He's present. He's there for me. He's waiting for me. All what I want is achievable here, but I have no attraction. I'm so unfortunate. Same principle. Don't stop. Let the pen flow. Don't think, just write. Arpita Mataji, just write. And if you have don't know, just write. I don't know what to write about this, but write that also. If you don't know anything else, just write for 3 minutes. Just keep writing. What does it say about me, about my consciousness? After knowing all this about the holy name and about the Lord, I still don't have attraction. Okay, 30 seconds. All right. Conclude that sentence. Okay, so this is who we are. That was how our chanting was, and it is like that because this is who we are. That is why our chanting was like that, because this is who we are. But there's hope. There's hope. As Shantivardhan Prabhu said, there's hope. There's lot of hope. As we pictured, the consciousness getting cleansed just by the holy name. Everything is there just in the holy name. We just have to perfect this one thing, attentive chanting. And even in inattentiveness, at least we should remind ourselves of this again and again and again. At least that should be there, because many times even that is not there in our chanting. We're just trying to hear, we are just that whole thing that Krishna is present. He's alive in the holy name. All his energies are present in the holy name and have a relationship with Krishna. That that should be at the front of our mind. Okay, so now we will chant, uh, maybe for 20 minutes. So maybe 2 rounds we can all chant. Uh, Again, chanting is done at 3 levels. One is chanting with the body. So we should sit straight. We should. You're not going to chant just right now. Your back will again go like that. Don't worry. So whenever we find out that our posture is getting slouched, we try to sit as straight as possible. Second is at the level of the mind. The mind goes off here, there, everywhere. As soon as we realize the mind has gone here, there, everywhere, we bring it back and do the simple task of hearing the next Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then it's actually like Prabhupada. How many of you have heard that recording of Prabhupada explaining the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Very few people. You should all hear. Today only you go. YouTube में डालो मिलेगा. Prabhupada starts that first line. Does anyone remember what's that first line? Hmm. Hmm. It's like he says it's like the crying of the child for the mother. It's like the crying of the child for the mother. So that's the chanting of the heart. That Krishna, see, I have no attraction. That natural humility comes. I have no attraction. You please help me. I need your help. That helpless situation, like we have all experienced with at some point in our life, that is available for 2 hours every day during our japa. If only we are attentive for 2 hours every day, that is available in japa. Because every now and then I'll realize, Baba, kahan mind ja raha hai? Where is the mind going? Even being in that wonderful association for 5 days without network and hearing all this, still the mind is racing here, there. Such pathetic situation we are in. So, Krishna, I need your help. Please help me. And just like when the child calls for help, Prabhupada once was walking and there were all these ducks, small baby ducks, and the mother duck gave it to one duck which was most jumping. Prabhupada said, our chanting should be like that. And then Krishna will feel, "Arey, itni baar mere ko bula raha hai." Genuinely, person is realizing that I'm useless. Dekho mera kya haal hai. In spite of knowing all this, no attraction. Okay, take care. And still there will not be attraction. But that kind of chanting itself will be very fruitful. And day in and day out, this effort will definitely fructify. Here Mahaprabhu is mentioning. So mind, body, heart. Sachinandan Maharaj said that one technique he gave for this. He said, because our chanting is so external, super dry, he said every now and then it helps to just touch the heart with the bead bag. है heart है मतलब heart के अंदर मैं हूँ और मेरे साथ Krishna is there. Heart में है heart. And then he said, do all of you know where the heart is? And then he said, left side पे है heart. Heart is on the left side. Just for you to know that you have a heart, because we are in our life sometimes we are so heartless. So then just to take the, and I did this all 5 days. Just take the beat by now and then. Hare Krishna. And one more realization I had was that chanting should be for Krishna's pleasure. It actually gives Krishna pleasure. When Krishna sees somebody is chanting nicely, when Krishna sees somebody is calling out in that mood that I'm so helpless, I need you, but with that hope and that confidence in the words of Shastra that this will work. That is chanting for Krishna's pleasure. As Mataji mentioned, we don't go for an appointment late or we are not inattentive. That is not pleasing Krishna. We'll just look at this verse and then we'll all chant 2 rounds. कृष्ण तोमार हना यदि बले एक बार माया बंध हईते कृष्ण तारे करे पार. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, my dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today, till now, whatever, today, I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Okay? Okay, we'll chant now for the next 20 minutes. Please start. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur. Chant at our own pace.